library. Put it on the book.
Some are only news sources, or given news things, right, just using the name, just news. But then we have for like, academic search complete, which is under the academic journal. Names are usually clues to what's in there. If you recall, the Google Library search, which I suspect a lot of you have used, on page 2, right? That discovery report is trying to grab many data kind of motivation so that you are not only dependent on going to each part of the history and doing a search and looking at it. It's a good way to get started with the challenge to identify. But if you have specific data that you recommend to you, and you'll see how to find in your journal, and if you like that, also handout that you use, the sheet will break down also the that then I'm going to talk about the music, so we'll have many music you're using what's called Boolean operators to build search strings. So like, let's say you were interested in, I don't know, construction science.
Clipped.
But you're also interested in maybe job satisfaction. If you wanted to do a search on that, you wouldn't type it as a sentence or a questionnaire nowadays. It's not going to go very well. You have to really think about what you're
Correct.
So in this case, construction work, construction science, and job satisfaction. And that way it's going to retrieve things that make you go.
Music guess too.
All right. Let's go to this library homepage. If you don't have the website memorized like I do, because I go through every single day, if you're on the HCP general site, so y'all remember, there's a few different shortcuts. The most popular one I see is when students go to that My Google Student File page, right? And there's always a shortcut there. If you're on a personal device, or if you're in a browser that you signed into, like if you have a Google profile and you signed into the browser, any of the bookmarks you save in the browser you logged into will be available on any device you log into that browser. So that's another way to just make it easier to get to the library site. So, I know I had showed y'all the catalog last week. So I think you need a lot of. I'll ask them.
Number one. Maybe like this.
Depending on the resource we're looking at, it could be construction science, construction worker, construction jobs. You can always play around with that, right? But I just using construction work just to find off the side and see how it goes. If you're normally on it, you can experiment with some searches to see what gets you through. So then, I mentioned earlier, job satisfaction. We want to see if you have any resources talking about job satisfaction in construction. Now, Eagle Library Search, it is trying to find things from many of the databases at once. technical reasons. It can't get everything, but it can grab a lot of things. It's still very useful. And it can identify where the search results are coming from. There's a way to tell. If you scroll down the search results page, see over here on the left where it says select databases, that's a preview of where it's coming from. It'll tell you how many search results came from the different databases. This can be really useful information for students because if you're doing searches and you don't know which database is best, if you're seeing the same 1, 2, or 3 databases at the top of that list over and over, that's a clue, right? Hey, that's going to be a really good database for me to go look at this, right?
I'll come down.
Notice too, we do have international journals. So we're not just getting sources about construction.
Your monster.
We're thinking about other countries. If you want to focus on the US, you can attempt to do that. One of the ways you can try to do it is by modifying your string and giving it to, and there's really few ways to say this, but you can tack on the United States. That way, when the algorithm is searching for potentials, it tries to see if there's any specific references to the United States. And notice it's not foolproof, right? So in this case, this is coming out of the Canadian Journal of Civil Engineering, but it doesn't mean it's irrelevant. So in other words, they could still be talking somewhere within it about construction work in the US. You really have to go and click on the article at that point to explore it. The other thing I'll mention too, a lot of students don't know, and maybe one of you already know. I don't think I covered this last week, but there's these limiters right here.
Hold on.
This is limit 2. One of the options is full text. Do any of you know what that little filter does in Cricut? Okay, so that's telling the algorithm only retrieve things that are immediately available for you to read. In this case, it didn't change it. I was also the same. But what we have, and students don't realize this, a few of our databases are what we call bibliographic only. They're indexed data. And you may have encountered this before, but you didn't understand what was happening. That's when you find a result, if you click on it, and you're reading the record page, but you don't actually see the item itself. Like you don't see a download option, you don't see an HTML file or an EPUB file to download. There's no access link, there's nothing. It's just that what we call the bibliographic data on the record. If you don't find anything like that, but you can actually read full text filter is different. And I generally tell students as a rule, you should be turning that on. The only people at ACT that really benefit from finding anything on a given subject without being able to access it are basically faculty and librarians. So just save yourself some time. The other thing you can control is the publication date range. So for this particular search, I'm getting results all the way back to 1996. You can limit that if you want. Like, look, I only want things after maybe 2014. You can do that. You can either type it in, notice, like I can type it in here. I can also use the sliding bar key. And that's not just true for Eagle Library, right? That's true for databases as well. They like to give you tools to control that fire going of information that's coming at you. The other thing I haven't explained yet, I don't think I explained it in the last session, but do y'all know why I put quotation marks around both of my search phrases? I'm guessing that's not what most people have done for plugging that.
Okay.
So if I'm looking for one word, like let's say I'm looking up dentist, that's a search term because it's a single word. If I'm looking up a phrase where I need the words to stay together side by side, and that word they'll just go, by putting quotation marks around it, that's establishing a rule of holding it together. I'm telling the algorithm, you cannot tease these words apart. I don't want to find a search result where job in paragraph 1 is satisfaction in paragraph 10 that's irrelevant for me. right? I say, I want that exact phrase, and that's what it's doing. So anytime your search term is more than one word, it's no longer a search term, it's a search phrase. And if you're worried about forgetting that, if you got to do that from today, or even last week, which one you got? You've seen this one. It talks about Boolean operators, an example on how to use those, and it talks about search modifiers, which is what the notification is. And it just gives you an example of how you should use them in case you forget.
Okay, Jordan.
Now, because we have
There's
so
zombies.
many students doing career research, there's really more than one way to get at the career research databases and resources. The standard way, right, here's the databases link. And if y'all remember, we can filter, we can control which databases we want to
There's a
see.
zombie.
You can go to subject dropdown. You can choose careers and vocations, and it's going to show you all the databases that might be useful for doing any research about careers and vocations. So it's showing you both databases we own or subscription with direct pay. And it's also showing you public resources like the Occupational Outlook Handbook. That's actually created by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. That's like an entity within the U.S. Department of Labor. The government website is public. The way I can tell, apart from just knowing, that little orange open box symbol,
they're hitting our ship.
see that next to the databases and our databases listed anywhere? Those are called open access. What's nice about those is even after you leave it,
You got a knife.
when you're no longer a student here, and you no longer have that paid privilege access to our paywall databases, you can still get it.
Wait, I'm a spectator?
Open access because that's publicly
Oh.
available.
You're alone now?
Keep
Oh, wait,
that in
no.
mind. So when you come back to our website, you stated anything that's listed as open access. Now this lists a bunch of things, but we have it in another place. Why? Because so many students take EDP 1300 and so many we were doing this career research assignment. It's like one of those common things we help students with. There's a shortcut. You may have already seen it. Right here on the library homepage. We have a hot link for careers. It's off to the right, the blue link. It's in that big white bar area. If you click on that again, you'll see a bunch of the resources and things we recommend for doing career research. Just want you to know the shortcuts are there. You do have that information available for your professor.
I got a grenade launcher.
You do have it in this handout. We offer it to you many ways to make sure you can get back to it.
Oh.
Something I want to explain to you that I see a lot of students struggle with is common and actually it is one of the things I find fun. What I like being, right, is I guess for the aspect I enjoy most about being a librarian, that's why I teach instruction, but you really have to think of lots of different ways to say the same thing. Because you don't know how that news publication, how that website, how that government database, how that magazine, how that scholarly journal talks about your topic. So let's say you are interested in, maybe you're interested in being a veterinarian, but you're interested in how much they earn. What keyword comes to mind? Anybody just throw it out, what keyword might be used when you think about their earnings? Income? Yeah. What other term might you use?
Salary?
Any other thoughts? Any more keywords to throw out?
Wage.
Wage? Any others? We could do earnings. We could do pay.
Requirement?
Well, requirement would be a job requirement that could be an educational requirement, obviously. We're just focused right now on what are they doing. we talk about compensation. So we're talking about one thing, but we're realizing, right, there are a lot of ways to say that. If you only chose one of those words, let's stick with income, right? So the first one we got, the tutor. And I'm not gonna apply any filters, I just want to keep it that retrieves untouched. So we're getting it's not bad. We've got 1,000 results, so it's not shabby. But in this case, since I know there's lots of ways to talk about that, I'm going to introduce, basically think of it like a variable and giving the algorithm choice. So and is a requirement, right? But or is an option. So I'm going to do this. Every variable y'all gave me, every alternative term, I've dumped into parentheses because I gave you a choice. I'm telling the algorithm, I want you to find anything that mentions veterinarian, and it has to mention one of them. I don't care which one, that's why I put or in between, I gave it a choice. And let's see how that changes our results. A lot more, right? We went from 1,000 to almost 4,000. So one of the challenges of research is figuring out different ways of phrasing things that may have occurred to you. And one of the things that I find helpful, let's say you're looking at something and it looks promising, like you click on a title and you're like, hey, I think I might be able to use that. One of the things I tell students is pay attention to the record page. Sometimes the fields will be different. In this case, it's the subject. Sometimes you'll see it say descriptors or keywords. It'll say subject, headings, or tags. But those are basically terms that are attached to that resource, and they might give you ideas about other things to say that it didn't occur to you initially. And that allows you to refine and play with your search and expand. Scroll down to see if I can do some of the terms I didn't do well. Pretty good. I'm not seeing anything jumping out. And that's one of the things that we do when you come to us. When you're saying, hey, I'm going to do research on either nursing or on alert technology and you're struggling, one of the things we know is there's lots of ways to say the same thing. We know to give that algorithm a choice so that it doesn't accidentally hide valid results for you. Go back to my slide. Something I like to show you guys while you're here on site because I can't do it elsewhere. So the off-campus access, just like before, if you try and access most of our payroll databases from home, it won't know who you are. So you just need to be sure to put in your student W number, not your email, and your system passwords or everything else. The same thing you use to get into Eagle Online, into your student email, just use the exact same credentials. Just a heads up, do not put your full email address. If you add the @ in the student.accs.edu portion, it will reject it. That's probably one of our top 10 questions we get in the chat every semester. So, heads up. Since I'm on campus, we're not likely to see it right. Sometimes we do because the databases, especially in Gale, is kind of a culprit. Sometimes it feels recognized and accessing it, but most of them will go, so I can't guarantee that I can replicate that screen. That's why it's information. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some general citation information. So when y'all are using these resources, you will be expected to cite them. So a lot of the databases have built-in citation generator tools. I'll demonstrate that in a bit so you can see it. Even the Occupational Outlook Handbook from BLS, they have their own citation they provide you at the bottom. But I've got some more info on that, so I'll pause on this thought for now. But I just want you to know these tools are available. They're helpful. You may have already used them maybe in this class or another. You just, you know, I don't know if you knew what you were doing or if you knew that it wasn't always reliable, you may have caught making mistakes for the half. It's a really useful starting point, but I always recommend double checking. One of the ways we find that, we own the publication manual of the American Psychological Association, APA. You can get physical copies here, in almost every library in the system that you can use on site if you want. We also have an APA style guide. I provided a link to it right here. This is the shortcut to get to it. You can also get to it from the library homepage. I'll be sure to show you that as well so that you know more than where to get to it. But this is the shortcut. And so not only does it give you explicit examples, but Dana, the party, the librarian who made this, she's broken it down into source types. So periodicals, does anybody already know what a periodical is in the library? It's basically anything that's published on a periodic basis. In some older libraries, like for those of you that belong to like a formal institution, you may encounter the term serial. That means something published on a serial basis, or a published serial. So that's going to be newspapers, right? It's going to be magazines. Basically, anything that's not a book. There are some exceptions, right? An example would be the manga we have, and the graphic novels that you get published as a series, but that's the exception. She has a tab here for books. She also has a tab here for online resources. So maybe you have a generated citation from one of the database tools. Maybe you built it yourself, but you want to double check it. Check all the ways recommend. She's got examples here for you. What's awesome, so remember this, online resources tab, if you scroll down, she has got a box right here for EDUC 1300 career research essay. She knows exactly which resources y'all can use for your assignment. She knows what you need to sign. She's giving you very explicit examples for the occupational health handbook, for the Texas reality check calculator, for the ONIC, for career-wise stuff, for volunteer match, for the CNN money calculator. I mean, she is giving, now obviously, yours will change by depending on what you're on. You see that first one? That's, she did it for high school teachers. Maybe you chose a different page. Maybe you're looking at a chemist or a pharmacist or something. Yours is going to be updated for information, but you've got the formula, right? Like that's the blueprint, basically right there. Very, very helpful. The physical manual, if you've never seen it before, this is the cover, what it looks like. She's linked it on the guide for the and you can see all the campuses that Owens County. Here's a bigger version. That's what the front cover looks like. Some of them have normal binding, some have spiral, but it's seventh to different, it's the same thing. And the most current version is the 7th edition that came out in 2020. If you notice, if you remember what I talked about last week, right? Remember we talked about the 3 different physical collections we provide? It's about the circulating books, the reference, and the reserve, right? Good news is, now many of these are reference or reserve, which means you can only use it in the library. But I do see that there's 2 circulating versions, right? There's circulation collection. So if y'all wanted to request those, put them on hold, have them delivered to campus, come out here for you, you can borrow those and take them home if you find it easier to use the physical reference. There's no wrong way. I just want to make sure you know you've got choices. You've got choices. You can either use the online style guide we provide you on the library website, this, or you can use it for your book yourself. And again, that's the shortcut link to get there. If you wanted to navigate from the library home page to get there, you just scroll down. See these library resources columns, right? That's 3 with pictures. That very first column is for students. And if you're already looking, you'll realize what are the style guide. So that's how you can get back to that APA guide if you don't remember that URL. So what is citation? It's the practice of giving credit. It doesn't matter, I want to be clear, so I think students get real fuzzy on this. Let's say you found some really good average salary data on nursing jobs in ER. If you want to use that as part of your, information in your assignment, you have to give credit. It doesn't matter if like you copy and paste the exact sentence, talk about it, and put it in quotation marks. It doesn't matter if you just summarize what you read. It doesn't matter if you paraphrase where you don't copy the exact sentence, or maybe you just put it in your own words. You still have to cite. Why? Because you did not already know that, right? You got that information from someone else. So you're giving credit where it's due. You're also making it possible for Professor Vetus to be able to tell where you're getting that from. She needs to be able to go back and look and verify what she put there. I'm sure she will do that. So it's very important that you cite your sources. What do we call it if you fail to cite your sources? Or you do incorrect? That is correct. So plagiarism is basically a failure to give credit where it's due. And, to y'all's credit, most of the time when I see it, it tends to be because you've done it erroneously. You've got things in the wrong order, in the wrong spot, you only got half the citation there, you're missing the author, something, it happens. But nonetheless, you're still responsible for what you put in your assignment. So it's really important to, double check the citation you need to get another pair of eyes on. The librarians can help you with your rolling citation. The tutoring department can help you. Upstream, have any of you used Upstream before? That's another one of the tutoring services available. The handout that y'all have, this page here, the link to tutoring is right there for the and options. So you can either meet with them in person, you can make an appointment to meet with them online over MS Teams. Upstream is a little different. That's like a third-party service they use. They manage it. But the way it works is, let's say you've got a rough draft of a paper and you want feedback. You upload it into the Upstream portal, give them about 2 to 3 days, and they will give it back to you with their feedback and comments on things they think you should fix. That is such an amazing, helpful service. I strongly recommend you take advantage of it. All right. And so APA, like there's no rule about who can or can't use it, but know that it's used in a lot of disciplines, especially social sciences, health services. One of the things too, I get a lot of questions on students who have a site report, they get kind of fuzzy on that. Citation is really taking place in more than one spot, right? So let's say you've got your title page and you've got your body of your paper. The inside of your paper here, you have those little bitty in-text citations with all the name and the year. But then they have to match up, they have to correspond on your final page where all your references are. They need to correspond as a complete citation. That's where all the information about that person gets to. And there are rules governing how those should be formatted, how the citations should look. But the rules are also governing the actual formatting of the paper itself. So I've got some examples up here just so students can see. If you look on the right, these are the complete citations. Right? These are just some examples of random things I said. This is what, if you have cited these sources in your assignment, on the very last page, you list all your references. These are some of the examples of, this is what it's going to look like. Like this top one here, that is coming from a newspaper and a newspaper database. These two in the middle that are much shorter, I wonder if any of you guess like what source type that is? Just by looking at it. Okay. These are books. Books tend to be smaller, they don't require as much information, they don't require a link. So they tend to be shorter. And then this one here at the bottom, I can tell at a glance that that's scholarly. I also know because I found it. But there's some clues here. So scholarly they're more likely to be shorter. The list here, after they give you the title, they're gonna put the name of the journal in question. They're gonna provide a volume number and an issue number if it's available. They're gonna give you the pages they use, and then the link is what makes it really stand out to me. This link doesn't look like the top link, I'm sure you've noticed. You may have encountered this in your sources already from classes, you didn't know where it went. This link is special, we call this a DOI. Anybody know where DOI is? DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier. It is meant to be more persistent over time than a normal URL, it's a one about. There's a whole bunch of technical reasons for that I'm not going to get into, but what I can tell you is that APA, like most citation sites, they say this. If you locate a source in our database, and it happens, where you have both a URL available and a DOI, APA wants you to use the DOI. If you've got a DOI, then that's what you should use, a special kind of link. If it's not available, that's okay. You don't have to use it. It's just what they prefer. If all you have is a normal URL, then that's what you use. So over here off to the left, we have the in-text citations. So those are the smaller ones that belong inside the paper and are meant to correspond to your full citations at the end of the paper. So here, this person has a double last name, and then the year of publication. One last name, year of publication. This one, does anybody know what Bowman et al. Means? Why is it Bowman et al.? Okay. If you look at the full citation, you can see there's actually multiple here, right? We've got one author, two authors, three authors. If you have multiple authors, you're talking beyond two. And all of the Latin phrase, and it acts as a shortcut. So if you get a source that has three or more, you need to put the last name of the very first author listed, and then the phrase et al. With a period will act as sort of a stand-in for everybody else. That's just for the syntax. You wouldn't do it here just because you had three authors, but you would do it. Notice too, sometimes, like, I didn't have any page numbers except for these ones because I just, drafted citations for you. But if you have a page numbers available, like let's say you use this source, you have pagination available, you knew exactly where you cited it from, and you did a direct quote, they want you to give that page number. But that's not always available, right? Some of those web sources, especially like Occupational Outlook Network, Texas Reality Check, they're not using page numbers. So you only include the page numbers when you have it. If it's not available, that's okay. They just want it if it's there. In this case, in this first one, I did have a page number from a newspaper. Newspaper sometimes they use a combination of numbers and letters, hence why it looks that way. And in this case, there wasn't a single author listed. Harvard Health Publishing is listed as the author, so that's right. So citation resources, we have a bunch of different things. I've mentioned some of them already. One of the things I included on here that you can use to check your citations is a critical quick guide. I already gave that to you. I think I gave it to you last week and this week. Just to be sure you've got it. It looks like this. That's page 1, and then that's page 2. Y'all can always print this yourself. If you go to that APA file guide, that file is right there down there. I'm just trying to save it off the money. Thank you, 20 cents. By printing it for you so y'all don't have to pay. But it gives you different examples for all kinds of source types, including books, journal articles and databases, journal articles and DOIs. We also see examples for Occupational health and handbook, and there's administrative statistics, we've got infographics. And then, so if you didn't go all the way to the bottom, on the second page at the bottom, you see examples two for in-text citations. One of the things I'll point out, which we didn't see on the previous one, but like, so this one here, you see source with two authors. They have put both authors' name, but they put an ampersand in the middle. Right, and the ampersand is that very simple. So if you've got two, they want both of those last names. But if you get three or more, we get to substitute, right? And all. There are third-party citation tools out there. I use some of them. If you're doing a lot of classes that require a lot of research assignments, if you're doing a lot, you might find those useful. And some of them also, like, they offer free versions. And then they'll usually offer, it's what we call freemium, right? I don't know if you're familiar with that term. Freemium is where you have like a basic version of a service, it's free. But then if you want bells and whistles or better packaging, then you pay for the premium. They call it premium. So Zotero has that, CitusFree.com has that, I think NightSight pays well. Some are totally free, like I think, actually no, I think Easy did change, I think they offer premium. But most of them offer some kind of free version where you don't have to pay for one. I've seen this for Zotero, which is the one I've heard of. I've never considered it, and I use it a lot for like some of my research stuff and instruction. I figure if I, an academic librarian, am not hitting the limit with a free version, then y'all are probably not. The other thing I want to mention too is Purdue University. Have any of you already used them before for citation help? Ever heard of them? They've been around a long time now. ALGA stands for Online Writing Lab. They offer citation support for MLA, APA, and travel. Things I like about them, they've been around a long time, they're very authoritative. They also have examples of citation sources that you don't typically use often. So if you kind of encounter something a little strange, for some reason you're trying to cite, you know, like a table from a website or something, or you're trying to cite maybe a conversation that's like on social media by the employer's HR department. They usually will have an example for you. So they offer like lots of edge case scenarios how to cite. Stuff that you don't encounter often, but if you encounter something strange, you can't find examples for us, like in that style guide. Purdue University's OWL is really a choice. The downside though, as you can see, they've gotten very popular commercial, and they have ads and pop-ups and autoplay videos, and that's driving me nuts. But I still recommend it as an option if you cannot figure out how to cite them. There are still furthermore resources if you're struggling to cite. So we have a plagiarism LibGuide. We have library webinars on all the three major citations routes. In case you didn't know, there's actually over 100, there's a lot of them. But the three most common, especially that our students use, are APA, MLA, and Chicago. And we offer webinars both on APA style citations and APA paper formatting. So that's what we tell you, hey, come to the webinar, bring your whatever you've got ready for your paper, and we are gonna walk through together how to get your margins, how to do your clock style and size, how to title it, your title page. It's very helpful. We also let you schedule research consultations. You can schedule one appointment with me or any of the libraries. I think I mentioned this last week, but if you forgot, if you're on the main page, it's going to be on the black bar. It's like our hopping bar. There's a clock. That's how I remember it for the appointment. And so you'll see there's that schedule research help button, right, for every single library location in the entire system. So if you're really struggling, you're not finding sources on your topic, you can't figure out where you're going wrong, you can meet with us one-on-one. You can meet with us in person, on campus if you want. We can also meet with you online. You can do a WebEx, Teams, LinkedIn, whatever you need. And we can meet remotely. You don't have to come on site. It's up to you. The thing I do say, If you want an in-person meeting, choose the button to the that makes sense for you. I can't drive across the city. But if you want an online appointment, it doesn't matter who you pick because, you know, any of us can meet online. The other thing, if you haven't done it yet, I demonstrated this last week, the live chat, you know, you can talk to us online through text. You can either text messages through your phone or actually chat session in the live chat, which you can have on the home page. If you try and do it when we're closed, that's okay. It would just convert it to a ticket and we'll enter or we'll read it. But what's so nice about it is that we offer it on Sundays. So even though the physical libraries are closed on a Sunday, you can still get research support online from home. So this is we're now all the language. This is the one that I also printed for y'all. So, the ones in blue are actual databases, so those are paywall things that we offer. That you have to use, if you're on campus, they'll let you in, but if you're off, that's when you're gonna see that off-campus screen I told you about, where you put in your W. Then the yellow ones are the ones that I told you before, these are the open access ones. You can get to these from anywhere, even after you're on a visa. So we have the Occupational Outlook Handbook, we have the Texas Reality Center. These two are really good ones, they're very popular, and we also have the CNN Money and the Basics out. Those are great. Mometics is really good for tax prep, so if you're going into a field where you know there's an examination, whether it's like NCLEX or even but we also have like, what's the other one I'm forgetting, TCOL, like if you're going to law enforcement. We have, they have flashcards you can practice with, a digital one, you can even download the file and print them. They have, workbooks you can work through, they have practice tests, so you can practice for the exam. That's just really great. Okay, so let's go and take a look at these ones. Because I think these ones you will be using. All right. So this is the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Once upon a time, it was a massive book that you had to use in the library. It's been online for, gosh, I don't know how long now, but I'm really glad you just take it. I've played around with the app a little. I don't think it's as robust as the website, but you can still do that if you want. There's a QR code for their Android version of it and the iOS version. What the Occupational Outlook Handbook is so great at is providing data, very useful data about jobs you're interested in. It can also provide information on how to acquire those jobs, where those jobs are at, what are adjacent jobs that are similar, what industries can you enter with that job. Now, I did pick something at random, but if anybody wants to see a specific kind of job, I can look at that if you prefer. No. Well, let's see. So let's look at legal. Let's say you're interested in being a paralegal or a legal assistant. So I clicked on that. It was under the legal category. And right away, I'm taken to a summary page. And there's really good information in this summary table right here. We're seeing median pay. And they've got it both in salary format, which is annual, and we've also got it in hourly format, if it's, you know, we've got the typical entry-level education. So typically, you need an associate degree, right, a 2-year degree for that job. It's saying there is not typically work experience for the wage application. It's usually not on the job training. There's only exceptions, right? We're looking at summary. The number of jobs. So this data we can see is from 2023. This is Outlook, so it's showing growth, 1%. We also have to consider other things like the number of people entering the workforce, and we're looking at a number of factors to come up with that figure, but that's still, even though it's growth, it's growing now. Memory serve, 4%. So the average number. And so employment changed, so they're predicting 4,300 more positions will be added to that in the coming decade. And if you scroll, what do they do? So it tells you paralegals and legal assistants support lawyers by performing a variety of tasks, such as maintaining and organizing files, conducting legal research, and acting on them. They give you information about the work environment. It's typically going to be an office workplace. That's going to vary significantly from someone who is in, waste management, right? They talk about the credentials they typically need, so an associate's degree or certificate in paralegal studies. We also have information on pay. The state and area data, that's where I was just doing it. There's one more way to get to it. We've got a shortcut there. But if you go, also see the tab. And this is annoying, I'm afraid. Once you click on that tab, you don't have to click on the link to the title and name of the feed again. And now we're going to see data that's broken down by state. This is really, really helpful. So now we're seeing the number of jobs, right, employment, running in the state in color coded. And that's good. I think we're this one, right? Looks like to me. There's a lot of jobs here for that. And then it's showing us the highest employment level. So we're seeing California, Florida, New York, Texas, Illinois. But I have to tell you, we all tend to be at the top a lot. Part of that is because we're bigger states, right? We're just large. There's just more people in the state of Texas than Rhode Island, right? If we come down here, we're looking at location quotient. So this is looking at highest concentration of jobs and location quotient. This makes sense, right? This is the Columbia, DC is going to have a lot of legal positions. We come down here, we're looking at millions released by state. So we have a lot here that based on where are we at? We've got a lot of left ones, 50 to 65. And you can see, right, states on the West Coast and the East Coast pay the most. But at a glance, that may make it sound appealing, like, hey, I should do that for those places, right? That's good. But the thing to keep in mind is what is very different between, I don't know, living in Mississippi versus living in California. What would be different apart from physical location? Cost of living, right? Mortgage prices or mostly rent, the guarantee is going to be way higher anywhere in California than it is in Mississippi. So that isn't the only metric you want to look at when you're deciding how lucrative a position might be in a given location. We fall somewhere in between, which tends to be typical. Here we're looking at top 10 states, and we're also looking by metropolitan area. And like if you're looking at Massachusetts, it's not a terribly big state. The thing to consider is what's in Massachusetts. Major cities there, you know? Boston, right? Boston, Boston. So we're going to have a lot of jobs concentrated in that area, even though the state itself is not particularly large. Here we can see it's showing concentration on a smaller level. Like I'm pretty sure this is trying to show us like Harris County. So areas like when you see where it's just white like that, that just means that for whatever reason you don't have data. So when you just see like a white area or a blue white state, you just don't have it. I couldn't tell you why. I'm sure the reason varies. That's the state. We just don't have it. Again, you can see all the metropolitan areas, highest employment levels. New York, LA, Chicago, and New York. But that's really useful. So we can at least see what those jobs, where a lot of them are offered. We can see some data about the pay. information about the career. Living information, right? So it's making it hard to make. That's where the other tools we shared with you coming in. So Texas Reality Check. This is fantastic. If you haven't played around, this lets you calculate based on your lifestyle, preferences, and choices, what it's going to cost to maintain your standard living or your preferred standard. So you click on it here. So right away you start with where do you plan to live after you graduate? It's obviously going to be by person. I'm just going to choose whatever for the sake of demonstration. I'll choose pieces. Then they talk about housing. And again, keep in mind that these are estimates, right? This is averages. Where you live in a particular area or part of town is going to vary significantly. So it's just trying to estimate. When in doubt, it's always safer, right? Assuming your cost will be higher, so that you can make decisions accordingly. Because you would rather assume you need more than less, if that's possible. So I'll just choose one bedroom. Then we have utilities. What kind of bills do you expect to have on the regular? Maybe you're fortunate. Maybe you've got family or parents who are paying for some of these things and you only have to pay stuff. Just choose what makes sense for you. We'll say 45. And we'll skip on cable. And then eating habits. So that's another major expense right now. Eat at home, grab that food, dining out time. You see that can be radically impacted by the way you tend to eat. So maybe we'll do eat at home and dine out. Transportation, that's another thing. If you've got a vehicle that requires gas, that requires fuel changes and maintenance, that requires tire removal. These are all things you have to think about when you're trying to figure out what you need to earn to provide for yourself. You could just say public transportation, maybe we're lucky and we live near a metro line. Clothing too. Know that clothing wears down over time. You have to replace it. You get to dress casual for work. Do you have a uniform for work? Do you just like to shop a lot? Maybe you're in a business environment where you look really sharp. That's gonna, radically affect how much you're spending on clothing. Then healthcare. Do you have an employer that provides healthcare? Do you get insurance without any, upfront money coming out of your paycheck, or is it going to cost? Are you paying just for yourself or for a family? Do you want dental and vision? Because those tend to be separate. They tend to be separate and not just necessarily included. That's really common. Let's just say we're doing basic. And then personal care. Are you someone that likes to go to the gym? Do you like to get your hair and nails done? Do you like to get massages and stuff? So it's in all possible. And you're trying to be realistic. Maybe there's certain things you want to do, you can't. Or maybe there's things you want to do, no matter how much you do. Just try and calculate accordingly, be realistic with yourself about what you need to do. And then we have entertainment, right? You like to camp, just watch movies, or do a homebody. This will be pretty variable. Miscellaneous. You have a cat or a dog at home you take care of. You like to go on vacation. Are you someone that always needs the latest iPhone? You know that you're going to have to buy your own appliance, right? Sometimes when you rent a place, they'll have a refrigerator and stove. I've also been in places where you have to get your own appliance, whatever it happens. Just stuff without change. Then the student loan debt. It gives you a lot of options, but we're at HCC, so I'm going to go with public 2-year degree. And then families, you have kids or no kids, that's obviously going to have a huge impact on expenses. Maybe you don't have kids, you choose this option. And then savings. I know they recommend we save more than we do. I know every time they put out that data about Americans, never seems to be saving enough. If you decide to be responsible, you're going to charge 5%. And now we've got a list of everything that I input before. It's showing in this full list here. And it's giving me a final figure. So it's saying based on the things I chose, I would need to at least earn this much. If you want to save your results, you could email it to yourself with the email button. This is the print button. I just don't know if all those features are connected to the print button. But if you want to print it right away, you can. At the very least, what you can do is email it to yourself. And now it tells you, okay, so based on your minimum expenses, so that you record that, and then it'll show you the occupation that you most likely to be able to accommodate that much stuff. There could be all kinds of stuff coming up, and we're also seeing annual salaries on average, in this case, for taxes and costs. The other thing I forgot to mention for occupational outlook handling, go back to the tab. There was another tab off to the right for similar occupations. So maybe you're not 100% sure about that, but you want to see stuff that's similar, maybe requiring the same skill sets or the same industry. And they can show you some other jobs that are maybe similar to that one and compare so you can see right away how much education do I need for that job. What is the median pay for that job? Just so you can see what's possible and consider all your options. There was another calculator I wanted to show you that I really like. There's two really, CNN Money and Bank Rate, but I'll show you the Bank Rate one. Remember earlier how I talked about how we saw there was a lot of concentration of jobs for the paralegals we were looking at on the West Coast and the East Coast. Really common, right? Because California and New York, especially the LA metropolitan area, New York City metropolitan area, they're very densely populated. There's a lot of people there. But the cost of living tends to be much higher. So what this calculator does is it lets you compare. So let's say you're making, what is our figure from here? 4241. 4241. And let's say, okay, right now I'm in Houston, but I see a job offer and they're offering, maybe they're offering 10,000 more for the exact same job in Houston. You're thinking about taking it, but it's in, we'll say, Jersey. Newark, New Jersey. And let's refresh and see. So the cost of living is much higher there in Jersey. So it's letting you know, hey, in Houston you're making this much, right? And that affords that lifestyle, those choices you picked before. But if you took that same type, job, but you held it here, this is how much higher the cost of living is. So unless your increased offer exceeds that, then it may not be worth it. Now, maybe you need to go out there no matter what, but it's still a useful tool to figure out, okay, maybe 10,000 is not as big of a jump as I thought. On paper, that 10,000 seems good, and when you look at the reality of what it costs to live there, it doesn't look quite as shiny. But that's what makes this tool so useful. Maybe you get a job offer somewhere like Oklahoma, and the cost of living is lower, and wow, actually your money goes way further there. Those are the kinds of things you have to think about when you research. Showing you occupational outlook handbook. I've also shown you how to use Eagle Library Search to check our database. We looked at the Texas reality check calculator, and we looked at the Bank Rate calculator. So it's time to write your paper, right? Got your sources lined up. You know what you want to say. If you remember what I said before, APA style is not just governing how those in-text citations appear and how those citations appear on the references page. It's also determining the actual layout of the paper itself. And just to be clear, because I had this question yesterday, this is like a paper that has markup where it's offering you guidance, right? Sample paper, but it's got all this commentary off to the side. Let me zoom in. Your paper will not have commentary. You're not going to have this like big gray box with all these orange comment boxes. This is just offering you guidance so you know why things are the way. So this goes into the room. This is an example title page. So this is what APA wants to see. That title page needs to do something. The very first line, we're wanting to see title. Now, this one has two authors, but your page is going to get to no assignments and just put your own name. Then we've got the department and the college and university. Then we've got the actual course number and name. Then we have Professor Rios will be here, that's your instructor, and then we have the date. If you didn't catch it, also pagination. So APA wants the page numbers for your pages appearing in the top right. And that includes the title page. This is page 2. And so again, we have the title repeated. And then we go right into the body of the paper. We've got the opening paragraph there. We see paragraph 2 here. How can I tell that there's 2 paragraphs here? What is it? Yes, right? So every paragraph, every new paragraph, that first line is going to be indented. So that tells Professor Beatus right away this is a new paragraph, new paragraph. The other thing I wanted to show you is the in-text citation. So if you remember, what APA is usually looking for is the author, last name, or name, the year of publication, and then where it applies, a page number. And so we can see, we've got like right here, we've got one author name. Remember, in between, you've got comma and space, right? And we've got a publication year, and it's in for the government website. So, remember the EK style guide? I had talked about. So we saw the end citation. What are the in-text citations? Right? So in this case, the author of the occupation output is going to be your in the year. Let me check the actually, you can pull that up. What is the year? Yeah, this is a modified. Okay. So the sample that she gave us when we were on the guide, right, you can see it's high school teachers, the name of the page, and where she got it. I know just from like looking at this when she made 2 years ago, at the time, 2020 was probably current, you know, when she created that sample citation. But if we come to the page now for high school teachers, we can see when it was last updated. If we scroll down, there's the new modified date. That's the last time they changed, updated anything. So this is the date we would use now. Yeah. And this is something that's the very right page. Like your comments librarian, government librarian working for them who are responsible for going through making sure things are current, plugging in new data. And when they do that, when they make changes, just like we do with the library site, we are required to show you when the last modified to have an accurate date to the date. Now, for our I need to do this. So, the index citation would be what? It would be US Bureau of Labor Statistics, comma, space, and newspaper articles recited. I was still check the date. It's the same thing here, so Texas reality check. In this case, the Texas Workforce Solutions Labor Market and Conservation Department is officially author. I believe EPA gives us latitude to show I would say, this is my opinion, because of the opinion, Texas Workforce Commission is probably pretty good. I wonder if she's bigger than the Navy. She might. Yeah, she gave us the budget for sure. I know it's being MLT, it's very long. You know, entity being like that. So on this first one, it kind of shows you the information that's still different. You don't have to just physically try to workforce position or something. You can look at the end, that's fine. But notice they decided to. And they didn't put here also in terms of exactly. They chose to work in an particular instance, and then they just publication. What's critical is that you know she needs to know offer or and then here. Don't write up. The second author's last name is in here. Do we remember what we would do if there was 3 or more authors? Et al. Latin phrase, et al., like, etc. Yes, it's similar to that. So it would be like, let's say there was 5 authors. Then you would have put here Revers, et al. Because some people, depending on what you look at, there occasionally are persons you'll find that there's like 22 authors. They're out there. They did not expect you to type all that stuff. And here's an example of one where, in this instance, it was something that had page numbers. It was a direct quote. As you can see, that's where they're using the quotation mark. They said, okay, there's a direct quote in, we have a page number, let's use it. So we've got author year followed by, it needs to be dot, your page number, doesn't require Oh, and here's another example of one where, like this one, it's just a page number. Why did they get away with that? Let's see why they got away with just doing that. Where's the rest of the information? So they just wrote it out. Similarly, Darwin, we put the year up here. They were trying to go, I think, for a more natural word. It's just have a little bit of flexibility in it. Ever in doubt, who can you ask? Librarians, and also accessibility. But there's a lot of y'all, so I'll come to us. And that table paper, you know, I got it right here from the HSL that I downloaded. Oh, now here's that quick reference I just too. So the data I gave you, if you lose it, it's still there. You can get back to all this. Any questions? One.
We have a rough draft Thursday, because that's what we're gonna do, this week, make sure you're on that, and ADA, like. You have a rough draft.
Well, look at this phone.
Well. All right, have a good day.
And, bye, chat.